Yeah, dude. Alright, stop filming, becoming stuck. Thanks for checking out this video. Yesterday, this finally turned up. Full disclosure, it is not mine, it's my housemate's. He bought it back in early start of November. It arrived in the UK at the end of November, and it's just been stuck at customs. So if you are thinking about ordering one of these, and specifically one of the deluxe ones that's more expensive, a lot heavier, and comes in this awesome but bulky heavy box, it's gonna get stopped at customs, and it's gonna fall into like a more expensive category of import things, and it will take a while to get through. So if you are planning on importing one of these yourself, do bear that in mind. Maybe pay the extra 100 or so quid at the retailer's end for a private courier to do it, and not Parcel Force, because Parcel Force has been an utter nightmare when it's come to getting this cleared through customs. So enough of that. I'll probably have a rant about that at some point during this video. Get on with it, shall we? So this, I'm sure you know by now, is the FAL Deluxe version. So this is the full steel version with the steel and not aluminium upper receiver and barrel, and comes in this awesome box. Very nice. Let's get that out of the way. Doesn't come with all this stuff. He ordered 2 extra magazines. So starting out with 3 magazines, probably good. But since playing around with it and firing it a little bit, it's clear that you're going to need way more magazines, because it's so much fun to shoot. Never really expect much from gas blowback guns in terms of its full auto capability and performance. You expect it to be able to clear a mag on a mag dump. Obviously, that's like the lowest bar of expectations. This far exceeds those expectations. This can do full auto for days on the same gas fill, and it's absolutely like astonishing. There's just no words. I am wordless. I'm just gonna shut up and take a look at it. Both incredibly pretty and incredibly aggressive at the same time. The steel receiver makes such a huge difference. Don't get me wrong, like the standard model that they do with the aluminium barrel and receiver is beautiful, and it's finished really well. And you know, if I was to get one of these, I'd go for that one, just because I don't care enough for the extra cost. But I am incredibly happy that someone else I know does, because this is amazing. It is heavy, straight up, it's very heavy. He plans on adding wood furniture to this, which is just going to add to that weight. He's already got the rail dust cover to add his optic to, which will add even more weight. It's a very heavy gun. It's definitely like the best feeling replica I've ever held. Probably like on par with the MP5s, maybe a touch more in terms of just robust, realistic quality. Obviously the full steelness definitely contributes towards that. And everything that needs to feel strong and sturdy feels and looks strong and sturdy, like the trigger mechanism, the valve knocker here is just this big chunk of steel. Like, yeah, everything feels how you would want it to. Like all the little working parts and stuff feel how you know how they should on a realistic, very realistic imitation firearm. Just rack the bolt. Right. Give that trigger a go. There's like a bit of squish there before you get to the wall, and then you are at the wall. There's a bit of squish, then you're at the wall, and it's a very defined wall, like it's definitely there. It's not just like the MP5 where it squishes through it. It is a proper wall. And then it's not super sharp and crisp feeling. It's like it rolls through the break, and then the reset is really like clear and audible and crisp, and you're right back on the wall again. It's cool. It's really nice. It's a nice, smooth, defined feeling trigger. Now the plastic stock feels really nice. It feels like a little bit, like it's got a little bit of flex in it, like it's you know, supposed to replicate quite cheaply made plastic of the 50s. The butt pad could be better. It's just plastic. It could be a nice rubberized piece, but I'm pretty sure they're super cheap. Wouldn't have been worth it for VFC to import a shitload of them and then put them on, and then that cost trickle down to you on top of already paying out the nose for the replica itself anyway, when you can just get these butt pads from a surplus shop for like a £5. So, but yeah, the stock feels nice. The pistol grip feels nice. It's really nicely finished. It looks like, from what I've seen in pictures, very Fally, but it is, when you get up close to it, it's quite plasticky. It looks like it's got this sort of like coating finish on it that will age really nicely though, like it, and look like a vintage Fal stuff with some oil and whatnot rubbed into it. The handguards leave a fair bit to be desired, to be honest. But again, like, these are a worldwide used rifle, like the right arm of the free world or whatever. You can find surplus furniture for these anywhere in the world. So I'm sure VFC had that in mind. People are going to swap out the furniture for real furniture, no matter what, on these. So why make it more expensive for the user? What would be cool is if they ship them with real furniture instead of making really good quality fake furniture. If they just put real furniture on it, that would have been cool, I guess. But they know everyone's just going to do that anyway, so why do it and have to increase the costs? The markings are very nice. Markings sit on steel just way better than cheap aluminium or alloy or whatever. They just seem a lot more crisp. I've never used a real one, so usually when it comes to opening a new airsoft gun, I can like quickly just get to grips with the manual of arms of it, if it's like an AK or an AR platform or MP5 or whatever. This took a few moments of, right, where is everything? The bolt release. The bolt release is this little flappy boy here, and the safety throw is different. So you can go straight through semi-auto, like from safe, semi, and then the throw to auto is a lot farther. Like it's definitely like a very purposeful thing, switching to full auto. You go all the way around and click up to there. Safe, semi, auto. There's quite a throw on the thumb to get to auto, and I guess that's like deliberate. You're not supposed to be blapping this in full auto all the time. However, You will. Before we open it up and look at the guts, just going to show how ridiculously loud this thing is. So it's like a rock and lock mag, kind of like an AK. You have to be quite purposeful with it. If you do it softly, it might not latch. There is a click, but it's just better practice really. It's an all steel gun, you're not going to break anything. You want to be purposeful with it. Make sure everything's like locked in properly. You don't want to be dropping these mags. Though they are VFC mags, I'm sure they'll be absolutely fine if you drop them. I'm not going to drop them because it's not mine. Bolt release. Yeah. Just hear that again. Bolt release. Sending it home with the charging handles even more better. That's pointing it up as well. It's like working against gravity. Semi, just gonna hold down the bolt release. Yep. So loud. Bolt open. Mag release with the thumb, kind of like an MP5. But it's got a mixture of manual of arms that I'm used to. Obviously, I know this came before all of those, so it's like the OG manual of arms. But you've got your controls that are sort of AR-like, more MP5-like in terms of the movement of your thumb and the amount of throw you have to give. Yeah, sort of G3 MP5, G3 AK kind of mag reload and more of an MP5 G3 paddle mag release. I'll make sure I get lots of like pretty close-up footage to put in. While we open it up inside, I'll explain a little bit of what we've noticed already. So, I mean, it all works realistically. The recoil spring goes inside the stock on like a tang, gets pushed by the rat tail from the bolt carrier group, and that's what the whole system sort of recoils on. So I believe I have seen kits to do like a para stock side folding stock conversion. Obviously when you do that you can no longer have the recoil system inside the stock, so it requires like a different setup where it runs along a spring up here inside the top cover. Pretty standard differentiation really. If you want to fold in stock, you need your recoil system inside the receiver. Even still, VFC have released their own OSW like para stock model at MOA, just gone in December last year, 2023. So here's the rat tail part I was talking about. It's quite stiff in there the first time. We have a short stroke buffer that it runs along. This is obviously to improve gas efficiency, rate of fire, but we can take it out and have a full travel, which would give a much more realistic kick. This does rock around a lot already. I don't think it really needs a more realistic kick, and I do worry about things just smashing into each other, because we just have the back of the bolt carrier group smashing into the back of the receiver. It's all steel, so that should be fine in theory. Maybe there's something we can do in terms of putting a smaller buffer in or cutting that down a bit as sort of a nice happy go-between. When we chronoed it, it was doing 380 to 400 FPS on 0.25s, which is obviously for UK regular skirmishes way too hot. Now we might be able to just use it as a DMR. With those mags, you're not really going to be full autoing people. If you talk to your skirmish site, they should just let you run it as a DMR, because they know you're not going to be full autoing with 30 round mags. Just in the same way that you can't full auto at CQB, but everyone has the capability to on their guns, right? So it shouldn't really be a problem anymore. Maybe removing this will make it less efficient and cause it to need to send the bolt all the way back. More gas that way, less gas that way. Maybe that will bring the power down. I was trying to see if there's an air pass inside it here, but I can't really see with the light that I have. It comes very, very oily, very greasy. I can't find an obvious basic end pack system in there. From experience with VFC guns, even gas blowback rifles with lots of heavy steel parts and stuff, running duster gas on them is a perfectly adequate way of getting the power down without changing any of the internals. That's probably the first point of call. What can we get it to do on duster gas so it passes chrono? Make sure when you put in the bolt back in that your hammer's down, otherwise it will just get in the way. Boom. It's got a little knob at the back, I believe. It goes at the back, all the other grooves, and then help it line up. And it pops straight in. It's the dust cover that can be removed and replaced with a railed one. First accessory I believe VFC brought out was like a SA58 style railed cover, which just slides into the upper like that. It's pretty cool. Goes forward, go back it in and locks it. Right. Cool. And then your oily hands get all over the steel and make it nice and oily, because yeah, it's all grubby and real and rugged. It's really long. There's less going on up here, and it's all going that way, so it just feels longer anyway. And on the other one, you can just remove this hole from the front sight. You can remove that and just put a flash hider on the end and have it shorter. That's probably what I'd do with it. Obviously, like, I can't do like an in-depth, detailed review on this just yet because it arrived yesterday, but I'm sure this is going to get a lot of content made on it. So yeah, there'll be a lot of updates coming on this. First impression though, it's phenomenal, fabulous. I just love how simple it is, really. Simple mechanism, simple, big clunky lump of steel. Much like the VFC MP5, it feels like it's not gonna break. And even with like souped up, high performing airsoft guns, they still feel like toy guns, really. And you still feel like, oh, don't fall over and fall on your gun because you'll probably break it. Not with this. This isn't. This will break you if you fall on it. Yeah, this and the MP5 have that sort of real clickety-clackety, rugged, mechanical, realistic, mechanical feel to them. This shares that with the MP5. It just feels proper. It feels like it ain't gonna break. The box it comes in is really nice. It's not the greatest, and ours did get damaged in transit. I believe that was from customs taking it out. The zip ties that keep it all clamped down and secure had been cut, so customs definitely took it out and had a look at it, and then because it wasn't clamped down, it damaged the inside of the box. So that's another thing we're gonna have to complain about. But it doesn't feel like they've pumped a load of the cost of it into making the box at the same time. It's very nicely done. It's like the perfect amount of nicely done, but still cheaply done. So you know you're not paying for this. You are paying for this. You're just getting this. It's like that sweet spot of free shit. Absolutely blown away. First impressions are it's exceeded expectations. We are going to have a lot of fun making more content on this. Adding all the bits and bobs to it, customizing the look as well as the you know, figuring out how it works and playing with changing the length of bolt travel, adjusting, playing with different gas, figuring out how to fiddle with the FPS and get it nice and consistent. Getting the power down to like a more UK playable. If I were to get one for myself, I'd get the newer Vfc Fal OSW with the more modern aesthetics. I'd still want to be able to put real handguards on and regular dust cover for if I do want to do it just old school and clean and classic looking. I wouldn't, as I said, I wouldn't personally pay the extra for the full steel receiver, but I understand why my housemate did, and I'm really happy he did so that I could also experience it. This is truly something else. This is along with the MP5, like the best replicas I've ever felt and experienced. And looking forward to making some more content on it. So, thanks for checking out this video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff. It really helps, it means a lot. it's really cool to go and see when I've crept up a few more subscribers and a bunch more views, so thank you for that. And yeah, thank you. I'll see you in the next one. .25 in green gas with the short stroke buffer. Without the short stroke buffer. Without the short stroke buffer.